What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi, and I did a piece on Super Bowl Sunday, but I did a historical context because I did not watch the Super Bowl. I was not interested in watching the Super Bowl, and but I thought it valuable to bring you the historical piece that I brought you. It's obviously here on the channel. You can go and watch it. But I was giving you the history of the halftime show, that indeed it was Michael Jackson who had set it off. And made it a thing, or even a benchmark for artists. Ironically, at the time that they offered Michael the Super Bowl, he didn't even know what it was. Like, what's the Super Bowl? What's the halftime show? What is that? And he set it off. Then my nephew called me and we were talking, and it keeps coming up in my feed, like it's the first thing, when you even just open up YouTube, it's right there. And so I decided I would finally click on it. There, I did it. But again, if anytime I'm going to speak on anything, it is my goal, my intent is to enrich us, to bring a point of view that is off the beaten path, that most people aren't going to be thinking about. They won't notice it, they're not interested, whatever the case. That is why I exist, to speak on this damn platform, and to try to raise the consciousness of our people in any way that I can. It's kind of like my last mile effort. There's so much more I want to do. Anyway, so my nephew's birthday was on Tuesday, and but I think it was before Tuesday that I sent him a video of a very fiery, powerful video of Stokely Carmichael, Rahimahullah, because I wanted him to know, this man you're watching is not even 20 in this video. So that, and to also help him understand that Stokely was murdered, assassinated by white devils at 21 years old. Because he was going to be turning 20, I wanted him to have a context. This dude is historical. He's iconic. He died when he was 21. You just about to turn 20. So that it could hopefully, the value of that, my intention was that it would impact him and say, wow, that guy was 20 and he's holding an audience like that. What am I doing? Whatever was going to be inspired in him, I'm okay with. Just, I wanted him to have that consideration. Even Dr. King was only 33. Or, I think he was 33. 33? So, I mean, and it's Black History Month, whatever that's going to mean. But that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to speak on this halftime show. And let me be one of these fake YouTuber people. Before we get started, everybody remember to give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you get all my recent videos. I don't even sound right saying it. It's so inauthentic. But I want to begin with this Super Bowl halftime show. First, I want you to tell me if you saw If you watched the Super Bowl, like, I'm not going to judge you, it's fine. Just, did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch it? I'll call you names after, but just be truthful. Did you watch the Super Bowl halftime show when it aired? No judgment if you did, everybody. You know, again, one of the reasons why I exist is to try and change your behavior and your character as African people. You know, if we want something that we never had, we got to do shit we never did. You know, but why I'm doing this is because my nephew mentioned about it, and so I went ahead and it kept coming up in my damn thing. So I'm like, fine, let me see what it is. This was not a show, everybody. This was not a show. There was no show. There was no show. And I'm going to make my case for that. Because, first of all, you must remember I'm someone who has a long history in entertainment. And for those of you who have never met me or seen me for the first time, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. And shout out to somebody else. I love when people subscribe and then they send me a comment and let me know if they're a new subscriber. I do love that. You know, it gives me a chance to welcome them to the channel and, you know, represent us all as like I have good subscribers here, you know, and I always like to share that with them. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, you know, I started out, my father's a professional guitarist, was a professional guitarist. And in fact, in this moment, I'm just inspired that I may pull up some of his stuff from YouTube and share that with you, because my father is all over the internet. Or I may save that for the Jedi Africa channel. I don't know. Anyway, so music was in me from before I came to Earth, you know, literally. Because while my mother was pregnant with me, my father was playing guitar. And I started out playing violin when I was in the 3rd grade and piano at the same time because my violin teacher, Miss Hatt, let us know that you have to tune the violin to the piano. So I simultaneously was learning piano and violin. And I always wanted to play violin just so I could do this and be very dramatic and very, you know, when I would see orchestra and they're really just giving it, and I wanted to be able to do that. And so I did. And and then in the 5th grade, I was introduced. I had heard the French horn, but I didn't know that was a French horn. There was a song by Dan Fogelberg. I think that's the name's called Leader of the Band. But he would, after he would go, I'm just the living legacy to the leader of the band. Then, ooh, 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 ooh. That's French horn. I loved it. I didn't know that was a French horn, but something about that sound, like, got me. It was me. And, you know, any biblical movies, you know, they're always heavy with French horns, you know. The Lone Ranger theme, you know, it starts out with the trumpet. Them horns. That's a French horn. So I love that. Star Wars. French horn. So that was my beginning in music. Then my family used to put on shows when I was very young, and I used to sing with my sister that died a few months ago of COVID, allegedly of COVID. We don't know. We don't know. And she could really sing, man. I couldn't stand on stage with her without crying when she started her part. I literally would be when her part comes in. Wallahi, I swear. Anyway, and it was later that I found my own voice and I became a good singer and stuff like that. And then as I got into dance and then I became a dance choreographer and I began to understand that whole world. Then I had a band. we were called Wardrobe Cathedral. And then I'm just laying my resume because of what I'm going to talk about, this bullshit that's on your screen right now. And I'm trying to lay foundation that I'm qualified to tell you the things that I'm going to tell you. And so I was a dance choreographer, and then I had a band, and I've been on television, I've been in movies, um, and I have been on television sets. I know more than many, I will say, about entertainment and production and things like that. So when I saw this, everything is wrong with it. I get that it happened here on the West Coast, so it was during the daytime, but I'm not really going to give a lot of forgiveness for that, even because the video that I did for you 2 videos ago, I have a picture of Michael Jackson as the thumbnail. That Michael Jackson did his show in the daytime, and he gave us fireworks in the daytime. It's the first time I ever saw fireworks in the daytime, like fireworks in the daytime. I was like, yes, fireworks in the daytime. But there it was, man. So that's fine. Um, so I don't make any provision for this being in the daytime. That's no excuse. The set that they have is all white. White is something that's difficult to shoot anyway, in the daytime especially, outside especially. So this was a white something. I still don't know what that was supposed to be. It was never made clear to us what this, at least me, if you know what that's supposed to be, holla at your boy. I mean, I don't know what it is. I felt like I saw some names on some buildings, but I don't know what it is. And the fact that I don't know what it is equals that it failed. Do you understand? That in itself equals it failed. Just the staging was hideous. Then you obviously did not have a choreographer, because choreographers, everybody thinks that we just teach you dance steps. Well, we don't. We teach you dance steps, but we also do your costuming and your staging and your lighting. If it's going to be televised, now we're working with the director of photography, because he's going to work with the engineer. Actually, the three will work together, because the director of photography is understanding the scope of the shot and the depth or the closeness, if it's going to be a panning shot, if it's going to be aerial, if it's going to be close up. What is that shot? That's the director of photography. The engineer is the one who is sort of mechanically hitting the shots. He's calling to those camera people that have those headsets on. Go for camera 3, go for 1, go 5, go 6, back at 1, go 3, whatever, based on what the choreographer has said. Give you a little history. Everybody saw Michael Jackson's Motown 25. Michael did a rehearsal for that. That is not talked about. Him and his brothers. And him. Because when all those shots, especially when he does that, where he turns to the camera and he's doing that scowl, Michael knew that shot was going to be there because he had already planned it. Do you understand? If you go and look at any of these award show openings, those have been worked with a choreographer. Those shots are known, so you're going to definitely see certain things. It's out there. Certain things have to be seen. So camera people are not choreographers. You understand? Cameramen, directors of photography, engineers, they're not choreographers. They just put something on screen and they go, this is what it is. It was also a big thing for Michael. He's the one who started so that we could learn the whole dance. That's why when I see a Michael Jackson video, I know every stitch of choreography Michael's ever done. I know every stitch of choreography Janet has ever done. I know every stitch of choreography many people have done because they worked with the people and we can see the dance. Don't cut away to some shit that I don't need to see. You understand? And you always know when that's happened because there'll be something killing it on stage and they just show some random bitch in the audience like, go back to the stage. That's because somebody didn't work with that a choreographer didn't work, whoever choreographed that number didn't work with the director and also the director of photography and the engineer so that we'd be able to see that dance. That's what happened here. Those people were not in place because, first of all, there was no drama to the show. A show should have drama. You know, even if you, the viewing audience, you're not talented, you're not an entertainer, you're not somebody that does that, that's fine. But you should feel something, and it's the job of those of us who do this sort of thing to give you the drama of it. And there was no drama. So they start with Dr. Dre. He comes out of we don't know where because they botched that first shot. So it didn't have the value of his reveal. You understand? We hear that boom, and the music was not, the audio was all bad because there's a different audio that you do with the audio engineer so the television audience doesn't feel like they're standing in the stadium hearing the echo and all of it. You understand? You've seen shows where they start off and they're talking and it's like, wait, it sounds like somebody standing in the back of the auditorium with their phone. And then the engineer will hit it and now it sounds like you're used to hearing it on television. So this was also a fail sonically because we didn't hear that boom, 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 boom. We didn't really get the inference of the song until bunk, 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 bunk. That's when you go, oh, that's the song they're doing. I didn't hear the boom, 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 and that's the drama of the song. Boom, 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 boom. You know, didn't get it. So another fail. Then he comes out of nowhere. Then, and he tried to make up for it, you know, the hands in the air out there. He was coming out, you know, and he tried to kind of, you know, and by the way, Dr. Dre still looks the same. Like he's a warlock. I'm over it. All right. Cut the crap, Dr. Dre. Where's the fountain of youth? All right. So we missed the drama of that. What was he coming out of? What is this thing he was on? Because there were sections. What was his section? What was it? We don't know. Snoop was at the other end. They should have come up together. They are legendary. Do you understand? These brothers have been through when white folks who love hip hop so much now couldn't stand it back in the day. You understand? And they were villainized from politicians and you know some of their church leaders and all this kind of stuff. And these dudes have still lasted. You understand? They are iconic and they deserve their place in history. No matter what else we want to think of them, I'm sure they're not perfect, but they have lasted. They have done well and they still look good, you know, like they still look the same. Snoop is letting his gray hairs and stuff show, but do a rinse and it's Snoop Dogg from 19 whatever, you know. They should have been together and it should have been a very dramatic reveal. There should have been some smoke, some pyro, you know, something, you know, and we just didn't get it, you know. Then they reveal Snoop. He's standard Snoop. That's classic Snoop Dogg, classic. No issue with that. You feel me? But again, the audio wasn't there the way that it should have been. Go back and watch Lady Gaga's show. Go back and watch either one of Beyonce's show because the bitch has done it twice. I'm over it. Go back and watch when the Black Eyed Peas. They came out of the sky, bitch. And then Usher came out of the sky. Drama. You understand what I'm telling you? Performance, drama. This is the Super Bowl. It's supposed to be the show of shows. And this was the worst Super Bowl show ever since before Michael, because everything was garbage then. It was just marching bands and stuff like that. So it'd be this, it'd be the marching bands and the dancer bullshit, then this, then Michael. All right. So it wasn't there. Um, the staging. Wait, how did I miss that right now? I just see it. Okay, the staging. Look at this. It doesn't even take up the entire. It's just like a part of. And now that I'm seeing it on this screen, I feel like this is supposed to be Long Beach or Compton or something. Maybe that's what they were going for. But this failed because even this white structure should have been illuminated with LED lights. It should have glowed. You're using a white structure. It should have glowed. If there's signs and stuff on there, they should have been different colors like neon. You got these, what are these, Chevy Impalas? I'm not a car person, y'all, so brothers, let me know what kind of cars these are. But you know, here in California, that's where it started. They'd be on switches, and one side is up and it's cocked up, and they drop the other end down. These cars weren't doing any of that. They should have been doing that. Do you understand? They even look plain. They should have been like really done on dubs. You should have had, each car should have been full of a bunch of niggas with just like rags, like blue and red, you feel me, throwing up gang signs and just really giving it, you feel me. They should have had a huge ass red flag for the Bloods and a huge fucking red blue flag for the Crips. Like, do it, you feel me. It should have been a big ass ghetto blaster someplace. Because they, my understanding is they were going for something historical, you feel me. Where was, you know, remember Michael Jackson blocked out the entire audience with pictures of children from all over the world. It should have been Watts Tower. It should have been, you know, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. It's Black History Month. They could have then filled the rest of it in with Malcolm X, My King. It should have been Muhammad Ali, My King, Dr. King. You feel me? Just, I mean, they could have blocked the audience out. How they do that thing where I guess the audience all holds up a piece of it and it becomes a picture and the whole audience becomes something. They could have did that. There was no pyro, there was no smoke, there was no wind. Then you get to Kendrick Lamar. And when they would do their aerial shots, um when they would do their aerials, look at these cars, they look like Tonka toys, like some shit I played with as a kid or stole out of the white kid's neighbor's yard. That's something else that would be in the book. We're not discussing that. I didn't need Eminem to be there because the sight of him makes me vomit and I have to be on Valium. I guess his whole thing for being there is because he was Dr. Dre's artist. I'm over it, but you're not from California, so you shouldn't have been there. 50 Cent can't stand the sight of him. From the first time I ever saw that dude, before I knew his name, before I heard him say a single word or sing anything, I got bad energy. I'm like, I don't like that dude. I don't like him. And to this day, I still, the sight of him, I cannot stand 50 Cent. And he's not from California. He shouldn't have been up there. Mary, we're going to allow because that's a black queen, that she's legendary. Eminem is not legendary. 50 Cent is not legendary. You understand? Mary is legendary. So she had a right to be anywhere, quite frankly. But they failed with her because we saw her dancers, and then Mary just came out of nowhere. We didn't see her entrance. It wasn't given its proper, you know, ta-da. You know, again, nobody calling the shots because nobody was working with a choreographer. Um, the songs were just, it just failed, man. So and because they of whatever this graphic is they have on the ground, it's too dark. So remember Madonna had like pianos and shit and graphics and stuff. At the end, when her and CeeLo did Like a Prayer, it was like stars and you're like, where? How did they do that? Where that? I mean, it was just this was what they gave us. You see, and then when Kendrick Lamar, who should have been there, when he comes out to do his thing, first of all, before he even does his thing, then now, because you know at the Super Bowl you usually have 1 million people around the stage to add that extra crowd effect, the concert effect. This is just random milling around people, just no synchronized dancing, just everybody just kind of twerking or doing whatever they feel like doing. And then they don't really show up because of the background. This is something you think about I mean, who put this shit on? I mean, this is done by a 3-year-old, everybody. It's done by a 3-year-old. There's no lighting. There's no dramatic lighting. There's no there's nothing that makes you go, "Oh my God. Oh, oh, they killed it. Oh, none of it. None of it." I'm trying to get to Mary J. Look, just random people. And if you found a camera that you could dance in front of, then you just kind of jumped in front of it and danced. I can't get it. But you can't see any of these people on the field. You can't. And by the way, this whole thing, when it began, it was like the doors were closed. If I can get that shot there, this is all closed. We never saw them open. Just 1 minute they were closed, next minute it was open. How did it open? There was no drama. You could have had lights and smoke and pyro, and then they open and you reveal. You understand? Like this is not, whoever put this on, this is not a show, man. It's not a show. It's not a show. It wasn't a show. It was just people standing and being filmed. That's it. That's all that happened. I don't need to. I'm not even going to review 50 Cent. I've already told you he needs to die, and hopefully we'll read about that in the very near future. And the same thing with Eminem. So we're just going to move on. Let's see. Did I miss? Okay. These are her dancers. I'm trying to get you a good shot of that. Because I can do stills, but I can't play it. Again, they're on a white stage. Nobody thought about, and it's during the daytime. So nobody thought about, oh, we got to do the contrast between, they're even wearing white shoes. How are you ever going to see their footwork? You understand? It's just going to blend in. And so we see her dancers, but we never see Mary's entrance. When we see Mary, we see her knees, and the camera just pans up. Well, how'd she get there? What happened? You see, there was no entrance for Mary J. Blige. You understand? There's the shot. There. That's the first shot they showed us of Mary. I hope you're seeing it. Let me see. Gotta wait for this to catch up. That's the first shot we saw of Mary. That's her. That's the entrance of Mary J. Blige right there. That's the entrance shot of Mary J. Blige that we're supposed to be so excited about. Ooh, it's Mary. Ooh, you know. And she's in white with blonde hair against a backdrop, and it's in the daytime. This is all wrong, everybody. It's all wrong. And I suggest to you that the powers that be knew this. This was meant to be a distraction. A distraction. Because of Amir Locke, because of the brother that was killed in Vegas, same style as Amir Locke. They went to the wrong house, shot the brother. Also, they roll out this black coach for the Dolphins. We're going to get into it. But right now, I'm just going to critique this bullshit. This was the first shot we saw of Mary J. Blige. who is legendary to our community. Legendary. She's gonna be up there if she's not already. We have to not put her up there yet because people like Patty are still alive. Diana Ross, they're still alive. We can't do it. But she's in that class. She's going to be that. You understand? Like that's Mary. When she's 80, we're gonna go see her just cause it's Mary. That's it. So she is a staple and a a legend and an icon and somebody we hold close in our community. That's Mary J. Blige, homie. You know what I'm saying? We will fight you. And that's the entrance they gave her. It was disrespectful. Her audio was bad, the mic was some bullshit. And it just didn't say it. You see? And again, those doors just kind of opened. If it was a door, I don't know if they went up, did they go out, did they slide in, did they slide under? We don't know because we didn't see it. You feel me? And it's just random people in these various rooms, just random. What was this? And why weren't the cars, like I say, if they weren't gonna fill them up with a bunch of like gang type brothers just draped in fucking bandana shirts and stuff like that, like the stuff Snoop is wearing, then the cars should have been up on switches and doing stuff. Maybe they could have had more cars and had them going around it or doing different stuff, and then you pan in on a car and a brother just sitting on the hood doing this while it's switching, you feel me, or something. This was nothing. I'm telling you, this was nothing. And you're supposed to go away from it going, Dre and Snoop, they killed it. They killed it. Until you hear the Jedi and go, you know what? It was some bullshit. They didn't kill it. They didn't kill it. They didn't kill it. They did not kill it. They didn't kill it. Let's see. I want to get to Kendrick. Another shot of Mary, and she was clearly trying to take a page out of J-Lo's book, but that's fine. That's fine. She could do that because she was before J-Lo's bitch ass anyway. But just I remind you that J-Lo was the house of Versace at that Super Bowl. Do you understand? Like everything she wore and everything the dancers had on was Versace. Because the NFL gives you a budget. They don't pay you. They give you a budget to put on whatever show you want to. So where was the creative director? Who was the creative director of this damn halftime show? Who was it? Who was it? Because that person needs to send their check back if there was one, and then they need to owe on top of that. You see, because Mary should have had wind on her. She's Mary J. Blige, dude. And she was the main female up there, the only female. So she should have been really glorified in the presentation. There should have been a light from underneath her. There should have been wind. It should have been a whole bunch of things like, this is Mary J. Blige, dude. Like, what's going on? You feel me? Anybody who didn't know her and just seeing her for the first time at Super Bowl wouldn't know she's a big deal. Wouldn't know it. Wouldn't know it. I'm trying to get to Kendrick so I can tell you what a disaster that was. And again, those little cars just stayed there. They look like toy cars. They don't even look like the cars that we will see the brothers driving in the hood. No way. You feel me? They're not done up any kind of way. There's nothing happening. There's nothing happening in front of you there. There's nothing happening. Nothing is happening. Nothing's happening. You understand? And I always watch anything. I tell you guys, I watch. And certainly when it comes to entertainment, I'm watching it from everything I'm telling you right now. I'm evaluating it from its production as well as its entertainment value. Everything, staging, wardrobe, lighting, camera, all of it. It all matters because that's how you feel when it's over. Did you feel something when it's done? If it was executed right, you don't have to be talented. You were thoroughly entertained. You were thoroughly entertained, and it killed you. You feel me? This didn't kill nobody. In fact, what's that? We, I'm being told just off camera that people were going to their refrigerators, and we're going to get footage of that. That people were actually going to their refrigerators to get something. They were just standing with the door open while this was on. Let's see. This was the beginning of Kendrick Lamar's performance. That's the beginning. What? What is it? We don't know. That's my point. Now, then they're coming out of these boxes that say Dre Day, not really understanding. But my problem here is you're on a dark surface and all the dancers are in black. Those dancers should have been up on the white shit so they could stand out against the white background. But that didn't happen. And I'm also very highly upset that these brothers have blonde hair. Let me say this to my brothers and my sisters. Any nigga putting blonde fucking shit on top of your, I see these brothers, they have like the little flat top and it's all blonde across the top. You are gay. Period. The end. You're gay. You are. You do gay shit, you're gay. That's just what it is. You understand? If you play the flute, that means you're a flutist. You're a flautist, they call it. If you play violin, you're a violinist. If you do gay things, you are gay. That's just simple. That's just what the fuck it is. No black man should be coloring their hair any color, least of all blonde. I'm over it. Do you understand? And to my women, you know, you're accepting these things now, you know, and then I see videos online of women saying they found out their man is gay. Oh, because you didn't notice when his pants were tighter than yours and that he's wearing womanly colors and womanly prints and all this sort of thing. This has become normalized, and so you don't you should be calling that. Brothers should be calling it. When you see a brother wearing some shit that you know is girly, you're supposed to, even though it's in and acceptable now, you're supposed to say, hey man, are you gay? Oh, you not? Oh, because you know that's some gay shit you're wearing, right? Just so you know. I don't know if you knew that. You feel me? Like, come on. I saw there was some brouhaha. There's some rapper. Um I don't know his name. Nobody cares. That apparently there was some sex tape that just was leaked of him with two white dudes. So that's double. Like I can't. But the first thing I did was I went to go search who he was and any images of him to see how he dresses. No surprise. His locks, he's got the little up ponytail with the little side things coming down like my sisters and would wear some bullshit. Come on, dude. Like I'm over it. Like I'm just over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I was over it way back when it was just men wearing pink ties. You understand? Before it got this out of control. When I saw a pink tie for the first time, I was like, a pink tie? Then it was pink socks. You feel me? Now it's just everything. I'm over it. Anyways, so this is Kendrick Lamar's dancers who actually did have some choreography going on. But again, there was no choreographer directing the photography. So they could be called to the engineer. And they're on a dark background and they're wearing black. So they may as well not have been out there. It meant nothing. And I feel like they were even doing some FOI stuff that we see the Nation of Islam brothers doing at one point, you know. But you had to squint to know they were doing that. You see the lighting? You can't even see the brothers. Where was the lighting? And there's a white background behind them. So you need lighting on them. That's melanin. You feel me? Everything is wrong with this. Everything is wrong with this. Every single thing is wrong with this. Here's an aerial shot. Well, that's not the aerial shot. There's Kendrick, who did a good job and should have been there. You know, he's from California, and he, you know, you put him there, not fucking Eminem. You put Kendrick Lamar, you know, because we have to just be over oogling over anybody white that does something that is ours. If you do it, we ignore it. At the very least, we definitely don't give it any energy and praise it in any way. You understand? So what? A white person can rap. What does that mean? It's just mechanics for him. He's from Michigan. He don't have no struggle. He definitely don't have the black struggle. You feel what I'm telling you? So we should be very offended, and we should never accept it. But how many niggas I hear saying, "Man, Eminem, I rock with him." For what? That's like me pulling up, like when I used to impersonate Michael. And if those of you that have been with me, you've seen pictures of me dressed as him with the makeup and everything. And I look the fuck like Michael Jackson. But I'm saying that's like me showing up at Michael's house and somebody goes, "Look, Michael, he can do you." And Michael just go, "Okay, but I'm still Michael, so what does that really mean?" You know, you know. So that's how we should be. We should be like, that's nothing. We don't see that. It means nothing. And just that I have to struggle to get this aerial shot means it only lasted a half a second. There, finally. You see what I'm saying? What are they doing? Why? How would we know anything? You know, listen, even when I was in marching band in high school, when you're in band competition, whether it's on the street or when we're on the field, bands that come out and they don't wear spats, judges have what they call phasing errors. So if somebody is not marking time, they're on the wrong foot, or they're marching on the wrong foot, stepping, on the wrong foot. Those are phasing errors. And so we used to hate bands that came out and they wore their black shoes, but they didn't wear spats because you can't really see their feet when they fuck up. You feel me? Didn't appreciate it. And so this is that for me. Like they're in all black. So we're never going to be able to see their choreography against that background. And there was probably some really good choreography going on, which helps Kendrick's performance overall, and how you felt about even seeing him was robbed because of whatever the crap this crap is they trying to do. Like I'm over it, man. This was nothing, everybody. It was a non-performance. That's the words I want you to go away from this with. When somebody talks about this, I want you to be the one in the room to say it was a non-performance. There somehow mistakenly by accident there was some good lighting on Kendrick. Just for the moment, just in a moment, just you see, but nothing happening, nothing happening, nothing happening. I think there's another arrow shot. It won't be. Whatever, I'm over it. I mean, whose idea? What was this? What was the reason for this whole totally white set? Remember, um, J Lo and Shakira, they had like it looked like they on the stage, and then the stage would fall away, and it just looked like there was just like a ravine underneath them, and a waterfall, and they just on this little piece of island that they could be all over if they step wrong. Where was that stuff? I mean, this was not it, everybody. This was not it. This was not it. And then you look at the empty space of people doing nothing. Do you understand? Just empty, wasted. Ugh, let me get past him. I lost it too. Then the extras, I guess they all run over or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'm over it. And maybe they were for the Eminem crowd because they're in gray and black hoodies. Maybe that was the purpose of that. I'm theorizing. Um, Again, Dr. Dre looks amazing. How old is he now? But he looks amazing. Fresh, fit, and young. I mean, he looks the same, dude. Like, he looks exactly the same. Let's see, there's another shot of the set. Now they want to give you some, a little bit of smoke and some haze and, but it was nothing, dude. Nothing happened, you know. And first of all, I was mad that I was clicking on it. And then after I saw it, I'm like, people were just robbed, dude. This was such a non-event. I didn't understand it. There's your first close-up shot of either one of the cars, which it won't happen now. Oh, there it happened for me. You know, I don't really see the dubs. You feel me? I feel like most brothers wouldn't even have the wheel covers on the back, like they want the dubs to be seen. This is just not, I can't. The only thing that represented LA was Snoop Dogg. That's the only thing that represented it, dude, and Dr. Dre's presence. That's really it. Nothing else happened. Nothing. This, I don't even remember it happening. Yeah, there was an attempt at some synchronized dancing towards the end, but again, because there wasn't a choreographer, it just kind of wasn't shot right, and nobody remembers it. Nothing stood out. There was not a single moment that you can point to. If somebody said to you, "What was your favorite part of the Super Bowl halftime show?" You don't have an answer. You don't. You don't. I just told you, you don't have it. 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 You don't have it because it didn't exist. Do you understand? You know. And again, these are black people. It's during the daytime. Where is the lighting? Where's the lighting? And by the way, it looks like they're on. This isn't just like it's not being projected. This is a piece of cloth or some shit. Do you understand? Can y'all see that detail? I don't know if it's showing up for you. I'm watching it on my 32-inch. So that's a problem for the dancers. Do you understand? That's a problem for the dancers, dude. But know this, everybody. This shot. This brother is wearing Chuck Taylors. This is supposed to be a back in the day type of thing. Stay with me. When the Jedi speaks, you learn. Because I'm from Southside Chicago. And if you watch Fat Albert, they were wearing Chuck Taylors. Those was the poor shoes. You feel me? The All-Stars that had the big ass All-Star on the side, that just screamed to everybody, you are broke as fuck. They're wearing the Chuck Taylors there. Now it's a Chuck Taylor. Now it's $1 million. You understand? You used to just get those at the damn grocery store and be over it. You see what I'm saying? You see, again, once they tell you something is valuable, then it's valuable. That's it. That's it. You know, it makes me sick. It makes me sick. I'm probably going to be hospitalized after this video. I'll just call 911 now and just have them at least on standby because I can't. This was a non-event. There, you see the Chuck Taylor in that shot from this brother because they're wearing the old style khaki when the brothers used to just wear the khaki, from head to toe. And then they give you what they finally did that should have been at the beginning. There it is. And then there's Mary J. Blige too. They opened with Snoop and Dre. That should have been at the beginning. They should have came out of something, or either a screen with their silhouette, and you know if that's them. They kind of holding the mic. You just see the shadow. Something grand. It just didn't have any show value. You understand? It just didn't have it. And then I even see in this shot, Mary has on the hat, which you can't see because I'm in the way. Damn it. Just trust me, Mary is standing up there with a hat Because I see on my thing you can't see Mary. Damn. Yeah. She should have had that on already. This was awful. It was awful. And probably because they probably gave them a lower budget than they usually give everybody else. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, maybe that accounts for it. Maybe that accounts for it. Because they'll give you the budget you want. Like whatever show you're trying to put on, they'll give you the money for that. You just don't get paid. You feel me? Um, how short is Kendrick Lamar? Is he short? He looking mad short right there, homie. Like mad short. Like mad short. I'm over it. Then they give you the fireworks after the fact, which was random and pre-done because how do we have Dr. Dre's what's supposed to be the back of Dr. Dre's head right there and fireworks? That means he would have to be on top of the stadium, which we just saw him 2 seconds ago standing with everybody else. So that's not a real shot. I mean, I can't. This was a nightmare. I mean, nothing short of a nightmare. Nothing less. Nothing less. This was a nightmare. There was no entertainment value whatsoever. Um, it just didn't have it. It just didn't have it.